Good morning, and it's really early in the morning. Today is the 16th of October, 2022. Did you guys see what those idiot kids did in, I think it was England, where they threw the tomato soup on the Van Gogh? Ugh! I wake up every morning to a Van Gogh. No, not an original. I have the cafe, a print of that cafe, and it's actually in a place of honor, if that's a correct word. But I wake up every morning looking at the cafe. It speaks to me. It makes me happy. It's Van Gogh, and it's a beautiful painting. If you ever have a chance to see it, highly recommend. Just flip through an art book. That's the only way I can do it. Or, of course, I'm motivated enough to get a print of it. But that's just me. Those idiot kids. Wow. Do they not have what do you call that? Basic income in England? I'm sure that they do. They banged on about the reason that they're desecrating this painting, and of course it's covered with glass, which is a good thing. I wonder if they knew that. I wonder if they even cared. I bet you they didn't actually care. Um, they say that people, oh, poor people, and I mean, I'm poor. Oh my God, I'm a cripple, and I'm on basic, not even basic income. What I'm on is fixed income, which is even worse. Oh my God, um, I finally got an increase in my benefits, if that's the right word, in my pension, as it were. Finally, after what, 3 years of living with this crazy inflation, I finally got a stipend of a increase in my fixed income. Thank you. It matters. I was always able to afford tomato soup. I'm sorry, I can afford my rent, I can afford my food. Yes, I have to budget for it, of course. And if I wanted tomato soup, I can get tomato soup. I'm sorry. And I'm sure over there in England, in the UK, you guys voted for Brexit. Of course, you're in the condition that you're in right now. You decided that you don't want to trade anymore. Tomato soup, maybe. I don't know. I'm sorry. Um, One of the reasons I'm up so early is this was really pissing me off. Pardon. It just really irritates me that people would desecrate culture for tomato soup. And not just these kids. By the way, these kids look like they can afford more, like in how they were dressed and their haircuts and their presentation, the makeup, all of that. I bet you any money that their wardrobe and the amount that they spent on themselves that day to get the appearance that they had is more than I can spend a month on my grocery bill, and I can still afford a tomato soup. Just saying. But they're kids, okay? So kids have a tendency of. I was a kid. I acted out. I thought I knew everything. I was smarter than the grown ups. I wasn't. But it's called a learning process, progress. I don't know. When you're young, you can make mistakes. When you're older, you shouldn't make the kinds of mistakes that you made when you were younger, unless you haven't learned from the mistakes you made when you were younger. When you're young, it's a time to make mistakes. So these idiot kids are just that. They're kids. So they are allowed, in my humble opinion, and this is just my opinion, understand this, they're allowed to make their misconception of what advocacy, who the hell knows what they're on. But, anyways, they're not really the people that kind of irritate me in the sense of they're kids. But what gets me is that there are people who support them, who are adults, who say, oh, they brought, attention to the, plight of the poor. No, they didn't. All they did is desiccate Van Gogh and bang on about oil prices. How is that? Nothing that they did is going to affect it. Vote against Liz Truss. I'm sorry I bang on about her, but that's the problem. I'm sorry, but there is a solution. It's a solution of joining the market, the EU market. Okay, I get it. You hate the EU, But you can't hate the market. But that's your solution. I'm talking specifically about England and specifically about them. That's just where I'm coming from. But that's how you. That's a solution for the higher oil prices, for the inflation, for the tomato soup. It's your government. Vote against or for someone who will do what you want. But these people who support them, I'm sorry, but did you support ISIS when they destroyed Palmyra out in Syria? Because it pissed them off that there was these Roman ruins. That was a blight to them. They did not like that. According to them, that was, what was it, an insult to God. Destroy it. What about the statues, the Buddha statues in Afghanistan a couple of decades ago? Absolutely. They've been standing for thousands of years, but the Taliban was irritated to see that they destroyed it. Do you support them? They have the cause too. Hey, you know what? It pisses us off too. Or what about, would you like someone, these two girls, maybe they get a, what do you call that? A truck, okay? And they go to Stonehenge and they flatten it. Hey, why is the government spending so much money to keep this monument upright? And actually, they're not. They're keeping it as is. They tried to fix it up, but it didn't quite work. So they're leaving it as is. As a monument to themselves, to culture, to Van Gogh. I don't know. Would you then support them? Because, there is the government is spending money to keep Stonehenge alive. To keep Stonehenge from being destroyed by idiots like these activists. I don't know. I'm sorry, but I don't know how many views this is going to get. But in a way, I don't care. All I wanted to say is how sad I am, and actually really sad, that they would have gone so far as to decimate Van Gogh. Oh my God. And if anyone, please don't visit me and throw tomato soup on my Van Gogh. Yes, it is just a print. Yes, I can get it replaced, I guess. But that's not the point. The point is, it speaks to me, and actually it speaks to me not just because it's Van Gogh and it's the cafe, but it speaks to me because I've had it for as long as I've had. I've dragged it around to all my different places of life, of living. It now is a part of me. It will be, it's stupid, I get it. It'll be in my will. Someone, I know who's going to get it. Someone has actually professed a liking to it, and absolutely, it'll be hers. But it's just a print, I get it. But I would be so disappointed if someone, for a political statement, came in through tomato soup on my Van Gogh. Please don't. And leave Van Gogh alone. In general, enjoy culture as you can, when you can. Okay, it's out of my system. I'm sorry. It's like, 6 in the morning? I woke up this morning, saw my Van Gogh, and I'm set off. I'm sorry, that's just me. And that's what's going on in my patch of the internet this morning. Anyways, I hope you have a better day than I'm having right now. See you later.